Let's see if they can beat this car. I'm flat out here around those little roundabouts and tighter streets. This thing is excelling. Okay, Royal Enfield 350 test ride. This instrument looks good. Got all the information you need right in there. Also like the sound of the single cylinder engine 350. Got a nice little note to it. Let's see how it performs out on the highway and around town. Now this bike sells for 7,590 Australian dollars right away. It starts from, and which is pretty budget friendly. And I want to see if that's good value for money today. I want to see if you know, if a 350cc single cylinder engine can cut it in this day and age, in particular where bike engines are getting larger and larger, and yeah, is it enough for people's needs? And I have ridden it from the dealer to my home, and now I'm doing this review, and I must say it's actually twitchy. The steering response is very, very sharp, very lively, and it has caught me out a little bit, and it turned in quicker than I was expecting because I'm used to a bigger, heavier Indian Chief. But yeah, so now I'm sitting in 5th gear here. 5th gear seems to be top. 5th gear, 60 kilometres an hour, which is 37 miles per hour for my American UK friends. What are the horsepower figures for this engine? I don't know, don't care. All I need to know is, does it have enough for my purposes and for my needs? I love its agility actually, it's quite good to see. Indicators and all the controls are good, and they come to hand quite easily and quickly. Although the clutch lever it's got a bit of a ridge to it. I would like to see Royal Enfield do an span adjustable clutch lever and brake lever. Let's get up to 80 k's an hour, which is 50 miles an hour. So it's pretty windy today. It's a very stiff breeze, so it's going to be a good test for it. And we're up to 80, 4th gear. Just dropping the 5th, just going up a bit of a hill there. And look at those mirrors shaking. But I'm not getting, I think it's, I don't know, it's a combination of vibration and wind maybe. I'm not getting a lot of buzz or anything through the bars. Yeah, so I'd like to see them not put the span adjustable as standard. I want to see them keep the price down of the bike, but make it available as an optional accessory. So if people want to get span adjustable levers for this bike, they can get Royal Enfield ones, which would be cool. And through, thank you. Now it's not a powerhouse, but at the same time, at 80 k's an hour, it's doing what I want it to do without too much fuss, and I'm not feeling like I'm really having to work the bike. At 80, I'm starting to feel a little bit of vibration through the pegs. Handlebars feel pretty good vibration wise. This is where we'll see it's a very light bike. I will have a look at the figures when I get back home, but I can feel the wind pushing me around already compared to my much heavier Chief. Now I've ridden the classic 350 from Royal Enfield, which has a much more upright riding position than this bike. This bike you're on your hands, you're on your wrists, and it feels good actually. I prefer this sort of riding position to the more upright classic 350. Handles very nicely. It's very, very sharp steerer. Surprising. Compared to the classic 350, this bike is much more suited to the way I like to ride. The classic 350, you're sitting much more upright like an English gentleman, and yeah, very nice, but when you get on the freeway and the highway, you're just getting that full wind blast on your chest, and it does make it uncomfortable, I find. Whereas I like to have a bit of, on a naked bike like this, have a bit of weight on my wrists, so I'm leaning into the wind, and when you do hit that breeze at 100 kilometres an hour, 60, 70 miles an hour, you know, it sort of helping to hold you up a bit, and it makes the ride or the riding position more comfortable actually once you get a bit of wind pressure on your chest. I like that. When I'm sitting bolt upright, I don't like that so much, because it's just like a sail and you feel like you're being dragged off to the back of the bike really. Oh, it's a pity we're behind this truck. I could have given it a bit. Now I've got the wind behind me. I was into a headwind there. And we'll do a run. Now, so I'm up to 80 k's an hour quite easily. I haven't been working the bike to get there. And we'll do a run back into the wind, which will be a headwind, and right back. So that'll be a good test. And 110 is going to be our first test. Getting a lot of vibration now through the seat, and the mirrors are buzzing a bit. When I say a lot, I'm feeling vibration. I'm not saying it's a lot, but I'm feeling vibration through the seat. Let's go to 110. Right, 110, 50. Yeah, doing it easily with the wind behind us. I feel quite comfortable sitting here. Now I'm 6'1", and ergonomically this bike fits me fine. I don't feel uncomfortable on it at all, and I think you could even be a few inches taller and still feel comfortable on this bike. Suspension, as you can hear in my voice, is firm, but it's not bottoming out or anything. It's just firm over those bumps, which is fine by me. I prefer to have plenty of firmer suspension than bottoming out suspension. Now just try to go for 6 there, no 6 here. And bear in mind, I haven't adjusted the suspension for my weight, so I may even could afford to back it off a little bit to preload from what I'm feeling here. Sitting at 110, sitting here quite easily, but no, I feel very comfortable in this riding position, and I would have no qualms doing from what I'm feeling here on the seat, comfort, ergonomics, doing an hour, 2 hour ride on this, no problems at all. And I would take this bike on my favourite little routes that I like to go. The suspension's very firm. I reckon I could back off the preload. I like how agile it is. It's a little sporty little bike, I tell you. Now these tyres are pretty fresh, so I don't want to let them over too far, because I did see they were pretty green on the edge. We'll go back around here. Now we're going to go into the wind. Now I'm just riding this bike quite as I normally do, and I don't feel like I'm pushing the bike or anything, or having to work it. I can just ride it as I normally do, and it's doing what I want to do, and travelling at the pace that I want it to travel at. Brakes feel pretty good there. I'm just not used to how sharp this thing steers, compared to my Chief. Right, that's full, flat out. Third gear, fourth gear. This is what you can expect acceleration wise into the wind. So it's interesting, when you just twist the throttle as you normally would, you get ample acceleration, nor you want. But if you twist it further, you don't get more, as you would expect from other bikes. So it's, I think they've got the setup of the throttle action quite good. I think it's right in that you can just ride it normally, and it's giving you everything you need. I'm flat out here into the wind at 100 kilometres an hour, and she's not wanting to go any faster, so that'll give an indication of where we're at. It's getting up to 110, which is the speed limit here, but it's taking its time. So again, it's a very windy day. We've got change weather coming through, so this is a good test. and we found the limit of what this bike is capable of. It's very firm over those bumps, not bottoming out, just suspension's just really very firmly sprung. How many Ks has this bike done? This is a demo, so it's done 363 kilometres. So what's that, about 180 miles or something like that? So another 1,000 kilometres and the bike will probably be the engine will be a lot freer, and it will be better than what it is now. But we're running a tight motor, and that's where it is right now. So freeway wise, it's very confident, like in handling. Even in that wind there, it was very good. I wasn't getting blown around or anything like that. But the engine was a limiting factor if you want a lot of acceleration. Like, I couldn't have sat at 110 kilometres there and passed a car. I just had nothing left. That was it. Now, is that a deal breaker? Depends on what you want to use this bike for. Like, for this, just sort of riding around town, doing some freeway work, some highway work, I think not a problem at all. If you want to do long distances and things, I say no, definitely not. Buy something with a bigger engine and something more capable of that sort of thing. But if you just want a fun bike, if you do a lot of commuting, and you want a fun bike to ride around, this one definitely ticks the box for fun, I can tell you. The engine has a very pleasing note. I'm really enjoying the sound from the single cylinder 350cc engine, and I think Royal Enfield have got that muffler tuning and sound spot on. If I owned this bike or bought this bike, I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't even be tempted to put a louder muffler on, because I can hear it quite easily and quite nicely, and it's just the right amount of gravel. Brakes work well there. Just the right amount of sound coming from there. Now, this is where I think this bike's going to excel in this environment. Just around town speeds, commuting. This is a sweet little commuter. Having said that, I would take this to Dalesford, which is like about 50 k's away on the highway. No problems at all. I'd even take this up to, I'd take it for a ride to Bendigo, which is an hour and 40 minutes away. No problems. Going through the back roads and the country roads. If I was sitting on the freeway for an hour and a half, then I wouldn't do that. But I would take the longer trips, but I would just take the back roads, the more scenic, more fun roads. And this bike would be great for that. 80 k's an hour, 100 k's an hour, and this bike would be totally fine for that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm surprised. It's just amazing how agile this bike is, and its agility matches its looks. It looks like it would be a sporty little bike, and it definitely is. Seat comfort wise, I feel very comfortable in this seat, and like I said, ergonomics, I feel very good. The seat is like a longer bench seat, if you like, and that's good for my height because I can move back and move forward and shift around. And for the freeway work, I really like the leaning forward onto the bars. This is a great riding position, and I got this similar riding position from the Shotgun 650 actually. But naturally a Shotgun 650 has a lot more oomph than this bike. And if you were looking for say you're a learner and you're looking to get into a bike like this, a naked bike like this, and you wanted more grunt, we'll definitely look at the Shotgun 650, because that's also a learner from Royal Enfield. That's also a learner bike. But if you're looking for more oomph, you'd certainly be happier on that bike longer than this bike. But if you're looking for a commuter and you're not in a rush, it's not a bike that you have to like. I wouldn't worry about it not having enough power to do what you want it to do, because I can keep up with traffic. Actually, I could probably accelerate quicker than cars typically off at the lights. But if I was beside a car that gave it a little bit, I reckon I could keep up, no problems at all, and effortlessly, because I'm not having to feel like I'm really wringing that throttle out to get it going. But just a gentle twist and away it goes. So if you're looking to get back into motorcycling and you just want something that's not intimidating at all, this is definitely a bike you should look at. It's very light to pick up off the stand. Now, when it comes to the side stand, it doesn't lean over it very far, so that could be an issue if you parked on an angled path or road where the left side of the road or path is higher than the right. You'd have to be really careful, because if you weren't on flat ground or the ground falling away from you, this bike could tip over easy, I reckon. You have to be really careful where you parked it on the side stand. The plus side of that is when you pick it up off the side stand, it's like a feather. It's light as. Putting it up onto the centre stand, I think the rear handle should be more further forward of the bike. Would make it a lot easier to put it up onto the side centre stand. As it is, you're using the passenger grab rail handle, and it's a bit far back. It feels awkward to try and pull it up, and it makes it harder. Just look at that. It just turns in so quick, it catches me. Just not expecting it to turn in as fast as it does. It's a bike that encourages you to ride a little more spiritedly. I think it's the riding position and your feet position. Your pegs are back a little bit, which is good. I like that. More rearward than for this sort of bike, more rearward than mid or forward. Especially when you got your weight on your wrist, you want your feet back. For me personally, that's the way I like it. Getting up to speed, no problems, quite easy, quite effortlessly, which is good, because in a bike like this or on a bike like this, you don't want to be feeling like you're wringing it out all the time just to get it going. It's not like that at all. It's easy and it's effortless to get it up to speed for around town sort of speeds. Brakes can feel like they've got plenty in them, which is good. On the highway, on the freeway, as you saw, that's where we find its limitations. So it's been quite a joy riding this today. I wasn't expecting to. I took my Chief in to get I got a engine warning light come on the weekend. Riding along, it just cut power. All of a sudden we just lost power. Then the engine didn't cut off altogether, just lost power. And the engine warning light started flashing. I made a video of it, just a quick one. Wasn't actually planning to shoot a video yesterday, but that's the way it turned out. So just using my phone. And so it's in, they're going to check it over and I'll pick it up tomorrow morning. And I thought, well, while I'm there, I may as well test ride the Hunter 350, because a couple of you guys have asked me to test ride this bike. I'm also going to test ride the Benelli TRK 702. Mark's got a demo there now. We can people can test ride if they're interested in that bike, and it looks pretty good actually. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes this week. Might even do that tomorrow, depending on the weather. Let's go with Green Arrow. Right, let's see if they can beat this car. But keeping up the traffic's pretty easy, no problems around town on this thing. You see by these flags and things blowing around. It is a windy day. The other thing I noticed that the foot pegs and the gear position, the gear lever, are they're tucked right in, and I've got to really tuck my toe in to reach them. I'm getting used to it. It's a case of just something you'll get used to if you own the bike. But I'm finding it. I'm looking for it at times and I can't find it. Around those little roundabouts and tighter streets, this thing is excelling. Again, the turn in. That's just me. That's 50 kilometres an hour is the speed limit here. Third gear is quite fine for that. You pop it into fourth. The engine revs drop right down. You can do it in fifth. Oh, it's lugging a bit. It's pushing it a bit too much, but fourth's fine. Bit of putting around, relaxed riding. Looking at the LCD display, you've got your speed indicated. In the centre there I've got my gear position, I've got a time, got the odometer and the fuel gauge. There's no tacho that I can see there. Don't need it, you can just change by feel, no problems at all. Gives you a lot of feedback, this engine. You know when it's time to change gears. It's not an engine you need to rev out either to go through the gears. Alright, well I think I'll do a little bit of summing up now. I think value for money, this is an excellent value proposition for someone who's a starting out learner for sure. Someone returning to riding who's been riding for a while, I reckon you might be more happier on if you like this sort of riding position, the shotgun 650. I think it'd be a better choice, because I think if you're a returning rider, then you know you're sort of used to a bit more performance and things probably out of bikes, and you may find this a bit underwhelming or a bit frustrating if you're going to do longer rides on the freeway and highway and things like that. But for a starting out learner bike, this is fantastic. It's very unintimidating, it's very easy to ride, it handles very well, and you know it's got enough power to certainly do what you need to do around town, and you're not going to feel like that the traffic's overwhelming you and you're sort of in everybody's way. So yeah, I'm giving this bike a tick, and I recommend for that sort of scenario. For a learner, I think it's ideal for a learner. Someone just getting into motorcycling, this is a great option. Alright, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and as always, thank you for your support. And until next time, bye for now.